Before the achievements, before the celebrations, there's the work. Early mornings, late nights. Every challenge faced, every extra effort made.
Every victory starts with preparation.
We value leadership, resilience, and innovation. No victory without work. Because success isn't given, it's earned. Welcome to Adrian College.
Bulldog fans, remember to follow Adrian College TV on social media. For game highlights and campus events, you can catch it all on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X at Adrian College TV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our future streams live and support your Bulldogs.
Continue to take pride and learn from Asa Mahan's leadership today. "161 years of commitment to harnessing the power of creativity, ingenuity, community, and academic excellence."
I believe that if you get your degree, the world is going to feel like it's shrinking.
It's MIAA basketball action here inside the Marilat Sports and Fitness Center as the traveling Hope Flying Dutchmen come in to play the Adrian College Bulldogs here in Adrian, Michigan. Hello and welcome inside the Marilat Sports and Fitness Center. Joining me today is Remington Gilniak. My name is Sean Whitmer, and we will have Ava Aker joining us later from down on the floor. But as we prepare for this game, Bulldogs lost to Hope back on the 14th by 10 points. They look ahead at this matchup, and they look ready. They look like they were preparing hard during pregame warmups. Remy, what's your big outlook coming into this game?
The big thing for me is it really came through a conversation with Tim Kaiser pregame. Tim Kaiser, he really stressed the importance of playing fundamental basketball. He realizes that these Adrian College Bulldogs, they're playing Division III athletics. They're not going to be having 45-inch verticals. They're not going to be hitting 30-footers consistently. It's about doing the little things right. It's about hitting the offensive glass, not committing turnovers, and more importantly, and what he really stressed was not fouling.
Yeah, and one of the big numbers that he said in that was you got to stay low on the foul aspect of this game. If we foul the way that we were fouling in the last game, then we're not going to be able to come out victorious as long as we can keep our hands to ourselves. And he indicated keep the chest on the player. If you keep your chest on him, you're going to be in a much safer position going into this game. Of course, on the flip side, Hope was led from 13 of 18 from the line out of Parker Hovey, who will not be playing in today's contest. It's a very big aspect of the foul numbers. Speaking with Coach Dav over on the Hope side, he indicated to us that they're going to keep the same mindset. Get downhill, attack the rack, get to the line as much as possible. But without Hovey, how difficult is that going to be?
It may be less difficult than you might think. Hope historically for the last 40, 50 years has been that team that's going to put the head down. They're going to get into the lane. They're going to drive into you, draw that contact, and force themselves onto the free throw line consistently. They've shown it repeatedly, and I expect to see it again today, regardless of who's on the floor.
With that, of course, Hovey being out, he will be getting replaced, and it looks like his biggest game so far in his young career, replacing him will be Charles Howell, the sophomore forward, 6'6", out of Cadillac, Michigan, who will be starting. Only his 6th start on the season. Of course, wearing number 5. Any notes on him coming into this one?
Well, again, when we spoke to Coach Dav, he spoke very highly of Charles Howell, or as he called him, Charlie Howell. He says he's very active on defense, active hands, and again, to your point, what Kaiser said about putting the chest on the ball, that's exactly what Howell's going to do for this team. Again, a ton of length, 6'6", has some girth to that frame as well. At 205, he's really that guy who's going to be holding it down without the true center in the lineup today.
Yeah, neither of these teams really run that true center, so to speak. Obviously, Darius Welch comes in at 6'7", but he's going to be bringing that ball up the court a lot for the Bulldogs, handles the ball quite a bit, and he's going to have to do it even more today, as Luke Rager will not be in this ball game. Seen him walking around pregame with a little wrap on his hand, so it's looking like it's going to be Lutz starting for the Bulldogs. How do you think that changes the game plan for Coach Kaiser and this Bulldog staff?
Yeah, and similar to Hovey being out of this game, the actual game plan itself isn't going to change. It's a matter of the guy stepping into that role. And today it's Carson Lutz, who's shown flashes of being a very good facilitator on the court, but what I really like about Lutz is what he does on the defensive end. While I will admit Rager is probably the better playmaker, better on the offensive end, but Lutz has very active hands in the lane. He is always, him and Welch are always in passing lanes, knocking balls away consistently. So maybe taking a step back in offense with Rager today, you're getting Lutz, who I think gives you an upgrade on the defensive side of the ball.
And I think Lutz playing great defense. The other aspect of it, they will still have Jeremiah Dallas coming in off the bench, who is another very good defensive player, but he's all but unstoppable when he gets a look inside, despite the smaller stature and frame. I don't think I've ever seen him make a mistake down on the low block. As we get a look at some of the numbers on the season averages for these two teams, a lot of the categories led by Hope, but not very large margins in the discrepancies. Of course, Bulldogs lead in three-point field goal percentage, coming in just shy of 33%, while Hope sits at 28%. They outmatch them in scoring, 76.1 to 75.1, and then it's 45% to 41%. Rebounds, about a 3-point discrepancy, 35 to 32. Turnovers, Hope only turns the ball over about 12 times, while the Bulldogs turn it over about 14.3 times per game. Remy, what really stands out to you about those numbers?
To me, it's the three-point percentage. Now, this Bulldog team, again, they're not full of lethal shooters. However, there are guys that can catch fire in this roster. I mean, your mind goes straight to Seth Logan, the senior guard at 6 foot. Not much of a factor inside or really much on the defensive end, but we've seen it time and time again throughout the last couple seasons. If he gets hot from behind the line, he can be a game-changing player out there.
Yeah, and we mentioned, of course, Darius Welch earlier in our pregame. Darius Welch, a guy that when he's driving and he's trying to create, he's always looking to create for himself, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You need those ISO scorers on your squad. The low point there is the fact that he likes to step inside, get just inside the arc, and take those long twos that you always say are never great for basketball. We also heard from Coach Dav during our pregame talk with him that Darius Welch is one of the best players in the MIAA, and they have to figure out a way to stop him.
Absolutely. He's towards the top in just about every offensive category, third in scoring in the entire conference at 18.4 points a game, just over 5 rebounds a game, and great efficiency. 43% from the field, but what stands out to me, 39.5 from beyond the perimeter. 72% at the line is not bad for a guy who gets there as much as he does.
Well, we're going to step aside for the national anthem. Don't go anywhere as you are watching MIAA men's basketball action here on ACTV.
Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. I've gotten an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
Respect. These values are an integral part of the competitive.
Welcome to Adrian College, where we believe in educating both the heart and the mind. With over 100 innovative academic programs and 10 cutting-edge institutes, you'll find a path that's right for you. Join our vibrant community of over 50 athletic teams and discover why we're recognized as a U.S. News & World Report Most Innovative Institution. Adrian College, where passion meets purpose. Your future starts here.
This is the Arrington Bookstore at Adrian College, the place to get game day ready, represent your clubs and organizations, and be Bulldog proud. With a wide selection of merchandise and a smile at every visit, stop by inside the Kane Student Center to pick up your Adrian College wares and make it another great day to be a Bulldog.
Adrian College is a pinpoint like no other. With our 77 undergraduate degrees, 47 majors, and 21 broad fields of study, Adrian has a one-of-a-kind, hands-on learning experience for everyone. Do you want to visit the campus of Adrian College in person? Visit adrian.edu/campus-visit. Again, that's adrian.edu/campus-visit. Come take in the beautiful facilities at Adrian College for yourself.
Good afternoon. My name is Ava Aker, and I'm reporting here from the Marilot. So first, talking about the teams, and I was talking to both coaches in the pregame. We were talking about what their goals were. Coach Kaiser, the coach of the Bulldogs, his goals were to have a strong and a really good defense. He wanted to maintain having no fouls and staying very, very consistent with their energy and on defense, because they think that that will help them pull out a win in this game. With having a stronger guards in the MIAA, they are ranked second, which means that they have less turnovers. The goals for their games are to stay under 12 turnovers, to make sure that they stay loose, and to have a timeout by Hope in the first 6 minutes. When talking to the Hope assistant coach, Coach Dave, he said team effort, making sure that when they have kids coming in and out of the game, that they are all still there as a team and they're all putting everything that they got, because Adrian is a good team. Making sure that they capitalize off the fouls from the Bulldogs and making sure that they capitalize off their free throws, because last game, Adrian College had a lot of fouls and they want to capitalize off of them to be able to score. Back up to you.
Thank you, Ava. As we get prepared for this game, of course, just seen the Hope starting lineup take the floor, and now the Bulldogs doing the same. It was Seth Logan and Darius Welch announced as the first two. Jaden Smiley follows them, with Carson Lutz leaving the last man off the bench being Burns.
And Sean, this is one of the bigger lineups we've seen from the Bulldogs this season. In the past, we've seen them run kind of a 2, maybe even a 3-guard set. But today, you're looking at Welch, Smiley, and Burns, who can all be classified as either a bigger 4 or a smaller center. So the fact that they're running 3, that really shows that they're putting a lot of emphasis on interior defense and rebounding today.
Yeah, and it's something that isn't extremely abnormal for them to do. They will run this 3-big lineup on occasions, and I think today just having Hovey not in the game, maybe they're trying to get that early presence inside. Talking to Coach Kaiser, was hoping to see a timeout within the first 6 minutes to really solidify that his team was doing well, as Welch grabs the tip. And Burns is going to run the show to start things off here. Logan coming across a couple screens, gets it on the wing. Drives left, bounce pass into Smiley. Smiley working hard. Floater up, back rim and out.
Look at that, first possession, 3 orange jerseys crowded around the net. They are crashing the glass today.
Working now, looking like Yant. Bounce pass inside, fighting through the contact, but can't get it to fall was Cargill.
Now, of course, Cargill coming off a big game, 30 points his last time out, so look for him to be the engine of the offense once again.
Lutz, a little stuck. Now Logan driving, little handoff to Welch, steps into a 3, can't get it to go. Pushing the ball up the court is Warman. Gives it off, Yant driving, posting up on Smiley, working against the bigger defender, now outside, 4-3, can't get it to go. Fighting for possession, Yant drives inside and gets the first bucket of the game.
How about that from Orion Yant? Thought we were going to be talking about Hovey coming into this game, but Yant fights for every inch, grabs the offensive rebound. That is not what Tim Kaiser wants to see early on in this game.
Welch gives it off to Smiley. Back up top to Welch. Now outside, Lutz drives, pull up mid-range. Carson Lutz responds.
Nice bucket from Lutz there. Didn't have a ton of space to work with. So he takes a couple dribbles in, gets a good look on the baseline.
Screen set on Lutz. They get the ball back up top. Yant, dribble handoff. Left with space, but driving and can't keep possession is Mims. Welch pushing tempo, gets a screen from Smiley. Crossover, drive inside, and gets contact on the body.
That's what Darius Welch does. He's a ball-dominant player, and this team is at its best when the ball is flowing through Darius Welch. Gets a good look on the drive. Couldn't convert it, just too much contact, but ends up at the line for 2.
Darius Welch, first one up, will fall. That's an aspect of his game you mentioned in pregame. He makes quite a few of his free throws attempted, sitting around that 73% mark.
Again, he's not uber efficient, but in terms of sheer volume, it's tough to find someone better from the charity stripe, not only on this team, but in the conference as a whole.
Ball inbounded to Mims. Gets it right back to Warman. Trapped, swings it over to Mims. Up top, driving right, little handoff, inside Cargill, dumps it off, and it's finished at the rim by Yant.
We've already seen about 5 possessions from Hope, and all of them ending within 2 feet of the basket.
Welch gets it inside to Burns, one dribble, outlet. Seth Logan buries the 3.
The Bulldogs want to win this one. They're going to need more of that. Seth Logan gets a good look from at least 3 to 4 feet off the line and absolutely drills it through the nylon.
Kicking it outside, Cargill to answer and can't get it to go. Rebound by Lutz, and the whistle sounds.
You know, Tim Kaiser loves to see that. You know, we put the 3 bigs in the lineup. I'm sure he didn't expect Carson Lutz, the point guard, to be getting in there and finding rebounds for the Dogs.
Burns looking to inbound here. It's a full court press. We'll see if they trap off the inbound. Lutz gets the ball. Up to Welch, now Logan. Contact behind him. Logan dribbling it around, gets it back up top to Welch. Outside, Lutz hesitates, pull up, mid-range. Lutz can't get it. Smiley and Burns both fighting for the rebound, but it's grabbed by Cargill. Tried to throw it off Smiley, but Yant gets the errant pass. Back to Cargill, driving inside. Picks up his dribble, and Burns forces the jump ball.
Look at the energy from the Bulldogs on the court, immediately swarming Burns. We're going to take another look at it here. They're calling the foul against Burns over the PA right now. Just active hands. Nice defensive play, but just doesn't get rewarded by the stripes.
Yeah, that's one you want to see go to a jump ball as Yant spins inside on Smiley. Off the glass and in with the soft touch.
How about Orion Yant to start off this game? It's another bucket from him, up to 6. He scored all 6 for Hope.
Welch, entry pass to Burns, bounce pass to Smiley. Top Logan fires another one.
Hope is putting such an emphasis on stopping the Dogs outside that they're just leaving Logan outside. Realistically, their best perimeter shooter left with way too much space.
Swung over to Bishop. Entry to Yant. Gets fouled. I believe they're calling it on the floor. And also looking like it's going to be our first media timeout of the game so far. I'd like to remind you to stay connected with all the action by following at Adrian College TV on social media. From game highlights to campus events, we've got you covered. Don't miss a moment. Follow at Adrian College TV today. So as we take a look inside the huddle there, and Greg Mitchell, the head coach of the Hope Flying Dutchman. Remy, what has really stood out to you here throughout this first 4 minutes of play?
I mean, a lot of it is what we expected. The Flying Dutchmen are forcing the ball inside. Orion Yant, 3 for 3 from the field already, 6 points. He's already drawn a few fouls. Now looking on the Bulldog side of things, how about Seth Logan so far? A couple of three-pointers from him. And that's really what the Bulldogs are going to need, because they're probably going to get out-rebounded in this game. Just the emphasis has been there from Greg Mitchell and the Flying Dutchman. So it's super important for the Bulldogs to be able to stretch the floor with guys like Logan.
Yeah, and I think Logan stretching the floor, as you mentioned, has been uberly important. I think Burns is doing the little things right now. He's not fumbling with the ball when it gets passed his way. He's handling it nicely, and he's doing the effort roll. He is in the full court press every single time. He's also trying to help beat the full court press on the other end. He's being their effort guy right now, and while it doesn't show up as much on the stat sheet, it's very important for a game like this.
It's funny, you're really seeing Coach Mitchell. He knows this Bulldog team can be prone to turnovers at a time. He's trying to push the envelope, get him to turn the ball over. So far, the Bulldogs just haven't given in.
Yant gets the inbound, working against Smiley. Fighting through a trap, hits the backdoor cut, now outside, letting one fly and burying it from deep is Warman.
Flying Dutchman taking a book out of the Bulldogs book there. Just drive and kick, get an open look from 3.
Logan gets inside in the uncharacteristic layup.
May have misspoken earlier. I said Logan wasn't a threat from inside. He's putting a physical play in on the game today.
As Warman tried to respond with one of his own, now outletted to Logan. Gets it back up top to Welch. Screen from Burns. Welch finds Smiley back door. Smiley gets it to go, and one opportunity for the Bulldogs.
Now, obviously, great finish from Jaden Smiley, but how about the dish from Welch? Welch drew a lot of defensive pressure as he came in from the wing and used that big frame to just throw a dart straight over the defense, set Smiley up beautifully right onto the basket.
Yeah, they always say you shouldn't jump to pass. What they usually mean is you shouldn't jump to find someone to pass to. If you're jumping to hit your pass, it's usually going to be just fine.
Of course, Welch has that giant frame. He sees the court better than almost anyone out there, so he saw his guy and he knew he could get it to him.
Smiley with a chance to convert the three-point play as the Bulldogs have made their first substitution, and it's Jeremiah Dallas coming in for, I believe, Burns. Trap working well for the Bulldogs as the Dutchmen look a little bit out of sorts. Driving is Yant, and he found space inside, creating the physical finish.
Bulldogs simply cannot stop Orion Yant so far. Just navigating through the defense, Euros, and pretty much gets a wide open layup out of it.
It's interesting as well, the Dutchmen are trapping as Welch gets it outside to Dallas. Dallas drives inside and is fouled, but the Dutchmen are trapping in the half court, or in the full court, mind you. and they're trapping the inbound. As soon as the ball gets pushed back to Welch, they're leaving him alone.
Take another look at this drive here. Dallas just kind of puts the head down, runs straight to the basket, runs into the double team, but draws enough contact to get himself 2 shots at the line.
As Dallas unable to convert the first of 2. This is already foul number 4 for the Dutchman.
And Dallas is a pretty good free throw shooter, 12 for 16 in conference games, so I expect him to make this one here.
As he does. Mounting it now, Sanchez. He'll get it right back, trying to push tempo. Finds the center of the court, now outside, driving, bounce pass inside and off the glass with the finish.
That may be the prettiest team bucket we've seen so far. 4 Flying Dutchmen touched it without taking more than 3 dribbles.
As Lutz gets fouled on the way up. And that was, I believe, Blauk. So, got inside, and as you mentioned, maybe one of the best team basketball we've seen all day, and we watched the entire JV game before this, so it was a lot of passing on that one set, something that outside of the Darius Welch pass, we haven't really seen too many good feeds to the inside man, as looks like Dallas is going to be picking up full court with Logan and Lutz. Swings it over, Bishop. Gets it down to the baseline. Now up top, Sanchez driving. Gets Smiley jumping, and Sanchez off the glass. Chance for 3 points on the play.
Now, if you look at that play as a whole, the Bulldogs started in the full court press in the trap, and the Flying Dutchmen beat it. They beat it with flying colors. They forced the mismatch. Now, Tim Kaiser does not want Jaden Smiley guarding Avery Sanchez, a 6'1 guard against the presumed Bulldog center. Not a good matchup, and, well, Sanchez takes advantage of it there.
Free throws up, and Sanchez buries that as well. Dallas gets it to Welch. Handoff. Van Lanningham hits Guyra. Dribble handoff. Van Lanningham. Back to Guyra, who lets it fly. Front rims it. Rebound Sanchez. Pushing tempo, but getting hounded by Dallas. Sanchez has a man open in the corner. Bishop lets it fly, and it rims out. Van Lanningham was the first there, but Guyra gets the pickup. Lutz fighting, he spins, gets some space, gets inside, no foul called. Looked like some contact to the head, but nothing called on the play, and the bounce pass will give it right back to the Bulldogs.
I'll tell you what, Tim Kaiser looks pretty frustrated after that no call. A lot of contact against Lutz. It's tough to tell how much of it was ball, how much of it was the arm of Lutz, but you can definitely see why Kaiser would be frustrated after that.
Dallas bringing it up, engineering the offense, working against Bishop. Bounce pass, dribble handoff. Dallas posting up, gets it outside. Van Lanningham can't handle it. Forgive me, that was Carlson on the defense, playing very well.
I like the play call there. You're sending a decent shooter, Van Lanningham, off the wing. It was a good pick from Welch. The pass from Dallas just a little bit behind him led to the turnover.
6'8" sophomore guard now in the game in Miller, who bounce passes it off. Now entry pass to Sanchez, who gets trapped, swings it outside. Warman with the 3. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound, putback attempt, no. Welch with the rebound gets it to Dallas. Dallas pushing tempo. It's where he strives. He gets inside, can't touch it. And it will be Hope basketball as Burns will check back in. Welch takes a seat for the first time today. And now we don't have a single starter on the court except for Burns. But it's the 2 energy guys out there together. Nice bounce pass, another one. As Blauk gets fouled by Dallas.
May have been a bit of frustration on Dallas. I understand he's a physical guard. He likes to get down low and have active hands poke it away. but after, well, not a great result on the previous offensive possession, maybe a little bit too much intensity on the other end there.
First free throw by Blauk will fall. Blauk 1 for 2 on the day with 1 rebound. First trip to the line here. And he will go 1 for 2 from the line. Dallas gets the screen from Guyra, but avoids it. Up top to Guyra. Outside, Van Landingham left all alone from deep. Van Landingham is one of the better shooters for the Bulldogs squad. That one might have just been a little bit too deep for him.
Yeah, Van Landingham in conference games simply has not been efficient from 3. 2 for 15. You know, trying to shoot himself out of what's been a few games of a shooting slump now. So for the Bulldogs' sake, hopefully he's able to pick that up for the rest of this one.
As it's stolen away by Welch. Welch takes flight on the Flying Dutchman.
A little bit ironic, huh? How about Darius Welch using every bit of that 6'7" frame to get up, and now we're going the other way once again.
As the Bulldogs playing with energy.
We're going to take another look at it here. We mentioned Welch plays the lanes, jumps right in front, has a few steps over the defender, throws it down with 2 for safety.
The energy tonight behind both of these teams is intense. Looking back at most of the matchups between Adrian and Hope, Hope has managed to squeeze out most of the victories. And you can tell by the intense look by the Bulldogs tonight that they are trying to make a change. When hearing what both coaches said during the first timeout, they both had a common theme. They both talked about depth and rebounding. They don't want to foul out. They want to make sure that they stay far away, but also they keep it in tight. When I was listening to what Greg Mitchell was saying to his team, he was making sure that they kept them calm, and he was talking very calm. He wanted them to remain calm and keep a fast and steady pace without freaking out about the score. When hearing what Coach Kaiser was saying, he was saying make sure we stay really aggressive on defense, but we also need to keep the ball moving and keep the pace.
Thank you, Ava, as we get another look at this Darius Welch slam. And almost a dangerous situation as Sanchez got a little bit too close for comfort there on the leg area. Getting an inside look now at the Bulldog huddle as they've been playing with tempo and pace all game long. Both teams with 5 fouls apiece and 4 timeouts left.
I'll tell you what stood out to me immediately after that Darius Welch done. Obviously, it's a big play. It's going to hype him up. But the way the bench reacted, it wasn't like they were jumping up and down and going crazy. They know that, well, so far they've been outplaying the Flying Dutchman. They got to keep their heads down, keep grinding, and after 4 quarters, hopefully, or 2 halves rather, they get the win here.
I also think it helps it was Darius Welch who took flight. He's their pregame dunk guy to get everyone fired up, so nothing out of the normal there as it's outside to Welch, driving left, gets inside, contact, and it rattles around the rim but doesn't fall in. Darius Welch goes to the line for his 2nd trip of the day.
Love the play call there by Tim Kaiser. If you saw, it was Seth Logan who was setting a screen off ball for Welch to get open there on the cut. If Welch didn't have anything, he was going to swing it out to a wide open Logan, but instead Welch goes up and picks himself a couple free throws here.
First one up will fall. Brings Darius Welch up to 5 points so far on this game. 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. He'll make it 6.
Yeah, good start for the leading scorer for the Bulldogs, and well, he's towards the top of the conference for a reason.
2nd leading scorer, because let's remember that, of course, Seth Logan with the 2 threes on the game has 8 points right now because he also had that inside finish, which was quality as Cargill directing traffic. Welch taking away the pass again. Cargill's getting stuck. Finally gets it out of his hands. It's back up top now over. Cargill lets it fly. The lefty can't get it. Putback attempt, no good. They're just able to keep possession as Warman, pressured by Guyra. Step back three on Van Lanningham, and Warman buries it.
Such a frustrating possession for the Bulldogs. They just played 27 seconds of perfect defense just to give it away on a couple offensive rebounds. And where there's smoke, there's fire. Eventually, that wide open three is going to come.
As Lutz gets stuck for a moment. Gets it back to Welch, screen from Guyra. Now outside, Logan drives. Gets it back to Van Lanningham. Nice move, but stolen away by Warman. Sprinting down the court, has Guyra to beat, and Warman with the kiss off the glass.
It's a big-time finish as we have a player down. That is Guyra kind of sitting against the wall there.
Looked like he might have got caught in the nose area on the defensive attempt.
Again, it was good defense from Guyra, just a better finish from Warman. Went up strong with two hands, fought through the contact that was there, and, well, he got the bucket.
So subbing in will be I believe Smiley, as Smiley sets the screen for Welch. Now Logan, bounce pass to Welch. Working here. Pull up, mid-range, can't get it, but Smiley with the rebound. Outside to Lutz. Lutz just launches the three and buries it.
Why not? Why not take the three if you're Carson Lutz? Finds himself with just a little bit too much space on the wing and lets it fly.
Driving inside, back up top. Now working, Howell. Swinging it around. Warman gets to the mid-range jumper, gets it to fall.
I'll tell you what, Marcus Warman is feeling himself right now. 3 straight buckets for him. And I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of expecting a fourth here. I guarantee he's taking the next shot.
Got to let the hot hand eat. As bounce pass inside to Smiley. Has Van Lanningham, who lets a three fly from the wing. And the Bulldogs might have found the weak spot in the Hope defense.
Yeah, back-to-back threes from that left wing. And, well, that snaps what's been a cold stretch for Van Lanningham. That one's got to feel good for him.
Warman working. Gets it out to Howell. Over to the corner. And a travel violation called on Cargill. Scored 30 points in their last matchup, and he has gotten off to a cold start here today. 0 for 3 from the field. That includes 2 missed three-pointers, and he just committed a simple turnover there.
Oh, Cargill, the freshman guard, was hearing it from the Bulldog bench. Of course, he committed the turnover just about a foot in front of that Bulldog bench, so you know, we couldn't hear exactly what they were saying, but just a disappointed look coming down the other end for him.
As Dallas gets open for 3 and can't get it to fall, but it was the same spot as before. Rigg has Logan guarding him in front. Now bounce pass Cargill. Same spot he traveled before. Working against Welch. Finding Warman. Warman, 4th straight shot, and he buries it.
I'll tell you what, Warman is hot. He is feeling himself right now. He didn't care there wasn't too much space. He just took a sidestep, said, screw it, I'm pulling this.
Lutz gets it over to Smiley. Smiley working. Swings it, stolen away by Warman.
Warman has taken over this first half right now.
Inside, stolen away by the Bulldogs, and Lutz on the ground gets outside. Warman kicks it to Cargill. Hounded by Dallas. Cargill, hop step, spinning, stolen away by Dallas.
There's those active hands we were telling you about. It's a common trait among these Bulldog guards, but Dallas does it better than any of them.
Logan lets the three fly, and one opportunity.
Whatever you can do, I can do better, says Seth Logan to Marcus Warman. That's a deep three. He's a good 4 steps behind the line. We'll take another look at it here. Just way too much space outside, and pulls it and drills it.
That's that landing area rule right there. You can't get too close to the feet of the defender, or of the shooter, mind you, if you're the defender. Ready to explore your Adrian future? Scholarship Day lets admitted students tour campus, meet faculty, and earn a renewable scholarship. Register now at adrian.edu/admission/visit-campus/scholarship-day. You can see the link there on your screen as we get ready for the final 7 minutes here of the first half. Bulldogs lead by 3. And after the media timeout, Logan will be shooting a free throw for a chance at the 4-point play. Just an absolutely electric day so far for Seth Logan.
Yeah, we didn't really expect Logan to be a focal point of the offense. Pregame was Darius Welch this, Darius Welch that. And I'm pretty sure Hope was thinking the same thing. How do we stop Darius Welch? The problem is they forgot about Seth Logan, who on a per volume basis is one of the better shooters on this team. And they're just giving him way too much space right now. And on that last one, well, I guess they didn't give him enough.
Yeah, and it's an aspect of the game that you don't expect coming into it. Obviously, you know that you have to stop the inside game for this Bulldog squad. That's what they're best at. If you leave it open, they will finish inside with ease. But those outside shots are falling right now, and it's got the Bulldogs in the lead.
No, I will say, as this game progresses, Tim Kaiser knows that's not something he can rely on. This Bulldog team, yes, they're middle of the pack for the MIAA, but even at that efficiency, they're just not that team that's going to be pulling threes all game. So obviously they'll take what they have so far, but don't expect them to take 25 threes this game.
That missed free throw by Logan was his first missed of the game. Is this ball getting swung around? Now outside, Sanchez swings it to the corner. Can't get the shot. Offensive rebound. Reverse layup falls for Mims.
That's exactly what we spoke about Tim Kaiser with before the game. It's the offensive rebounds. Another one for Hope.
Kicked outside to Welch. Crossover. Step back three. Darius Welch can't get it to go.
That's just not the shot there. Bulldog offense has been humming. No need for the isolation game.
Handoff Mims. Now a jab step working against Welch, and the whistle will sound. As Newhouse had Welch coming to his side there as the jab step seemed to get a little bit of space.
Again, I've said the term active hands for a while, and that's what Darius Welch is trying to do there. The problem is the hands can't get too active. You have to have control over your own body, where you're putting your hands, and right there, just not enough control. Makes contact too much of the body, not enough of the ball.
Well, Bulldogs bringing in Caden Lepper now. First sighting of him in today's contest. Kicked corner, Lepper with the closeout, but another offensive rebound for the Dutchman. Inside. And off the high glass, it falls. Carlson gets his first bucket of the game.
These second half points just killing the Bulldogs so far. That's the 9th for Hope so far.
Kicked, Lepper finds Lutz, gets inside. Smiley with the rebound. One dribble. Smiley looking for an outlet. He finds Dallas. Dallas drives inside. Kick to Smiley. And a beautiful pass.
We'll take another look at it here. Jeremiah Dallas does everything right here. Gets the ball at the top, uses a weak screen. Beautiful dish down low, and Smiley just couldn't handle it.
Now working is Mims. He's trying to get past Lutz, but very aggressive defense by the Bulldogs. Smiley getting posted up here by Blauk. Now inside entry on 2, and Blauk gets it to go. Chance at a three-point play for the Dutchman.
Well, so far the Bulldogs have dominated the perimeter, but on the interior, quite the opposite. Hope has been putting on an absolute clinic down low. That is their 20th point in the paint already, and they're only at 33 for the game.
Blauk can't get the free throw. It's picked up by Lutz, steps into a 3. Can't get it to go, front rimmed and out.
I think Tim Kaiser's got to call a timeout here. This offense is just all out of sorts right now.
Sanchez launches one. Gets tipped. They're going to say tipped by a Bulldog. Mims working now against Van Lanningham. No movement. Mims finally finds someone open. Little handoff to Sanchez. 3 seconds left in the shot clock. Sanchez gets it up and gets it to fall.
These Bulldogs just can't defend anything inside, and that's going to force the timeout from Tim Kaiser.
As we will take a break with them. Don't go anywhere. You are watching MIAA men's basketball action here on ACTV.
I'm a special ed social worker.
And I'm a third-year public affairs major.
I'm an action filmmaker.
Jebby is like a consolidated platform where I could have focused information in a couple swipes.
You can be another small voice that adds to a beautiful space. That's what I'm here for.
Welcome back inside the Marilat Sports and Fitness Center. Joining me in the booth today is Remington Gilniak. My name is Sean Whitmer, and of course we have Ava Aker roaming down on the floor. This has been an exciting matchup between these two teams, as we will head down to the floor with Ava Aker.
So looking at what both coaches were saying during the timeout, Greg Mitchell was making sure that his team was relaxed. He kept saying, play our game, the emphasis on our, making sure that they keep a fast pace. He kept saying the Bulldogs are feeling themselves. What are we gonna do about it? He kept emphasizing that it was a team effort, and he really wanted them to calm down their emotions.
Thank you, Ava. As of course, he's not wrong. Bulldogs have been all over the place here today, and as of late, obviously, Dutchman able to take the lead, but if the Bulldogs can get back into the groove, everything is just fine for them. Van Lanningham hits Welch, swings it over to Dallas, now outside Van Lanningham. Drives, little hesitation, drives right, gets the kick, but travels first. Just drugged that plant foot a little bit too much.
Yeah, besides for the travel, it was a good play by Van Lanningham. You had Lutz running around an off-ball screen and found some space, but just about a quarter second too late as the foot dragged.
Sanchez working against Lutz, trying to get it up top, but trapped in the corner. He gets it down low. Blauk couldn't handle it, saves it into the hands of head coach Tim Kaiser, and these aren't his playing days anymore, so that is out of bounds.
Another great defensive play by Jeremiah Dallas. Active hands in the lane, has a size mismatch down low, but it doesn't matter. Puts his hands all over the basketball, forces the turnover.
As Dallas will now inbound it right next to his coach. He gets it into Lutz. Back to Dallas, slowing things down a little bit. Picks up his dribble, gets it over to Van Lanningham, back to Dallas. Dallas wants a screen from Guyra, who ignores it. Back over to Van Lanningham, who gets the screen. Welch now driving right down the center of the lane, spinning shot, can't get it to go. 3 minutes remain here in the first half. Kick corner. Working inside, Active hands by Welch once again, but can't keep it in play.
And I feel like we said active hands because, I mean, if we watched a Tim Kaiser practice, I guarantee he says it more than we're saying it today, because every single one of these Bulldogs is making the effort on defense to step in front of passes, and even when they get beat, they're not giving up. The hands are still active. They're around the basketball just trying to make a play, even when you're disadvantaged.
Yeah, and I mean, I mentioned that got a chance to watch majority of the JV game. That's how the JV Bulldogs were playing as well. Just active hands as an inside pass, and slamming it down is Carlson.
What really set that up was Avery Sanchez with the off-ball screen. The entire Bulldogs kind of went over the screen instead of under and left the slip wide open.
Kick outside, Guyra. Up top, Welch from the wing. Can't get it to go. Rebound, Carlson. Pushing the tempo now. Passes it off. Back up top, Warman. Trying to get the entry pass, and Blauk can't handle it. It's off of him. We're going the other way.
Take another look at it here. Stop if you heard it before. Jeremiah Dallas makes a great play, but that was the dunk from Sam Carlson. Again, off that off-ball screen, every single Bulldog on defense goes over it. No one accounts for the 6'4" guard.
Not even the tallest guard listed on this team. As Lutz stuck a little bit, he'll swing it over to Logan. Logan working against Blauk, spins, bounce pass to Guyra, active hands from Warman. Warman going the other way. And he had NASCAR pace, but it's stolen right out of his hands. Now Dallas speeding, gets it to Lutz, hop step inside. Lutz goes up with it through contact, no whistle. Logan, only one back to stop Warman. Warman goes up, can't handle it, blocked by Logan. Out of bounds by Blauk, we're going the other way.
What a play by Dylan Guyra. Goes straight up and down. We'll take another look at it here. But it was Warman who leaked out in a transition, only one to stop him. Goes straight up and down. What a great defensive play.
And it's been back and forth. That out of bounds finally giving me a breath there. As gets it into Dallas. Past half court, Dallas, bounce pass over to Lutz. Dallas gets the screen from Guyra. Up top, Guyra sends it, hand in his face, and it doesn't matter. Dylan Guyra.
What a big shot there from Guyra. When I say big, I'm not talking about the arc. That thing, a line drive straight through the hook. Barely a jump on the shot either, just straight up and down off the heel and drills it.
Yeah, it's hard to time your defensive effort for a shot when the guy doesn't look like he's shooting all the way. It looks like a pump fake. But he lets it fly and he buries it to bring the Bulldogs within 4.
You know, it's a big turning point in the game right now because, well, let's face it, the Bulldogs are not playing their best brand of basketball, especially these last 6 to 7 minutes. So for them, it's really important to keep the deficit low while they get into halftime, get the offense back in rhythm. If you remember those first 10 minutes of the game, they were absolutely humming. And since then, it's been a lot of, me instead of the team. You've had guys dribbling up and down the court and just attacking the basket, going up on 3 defenders. Instead in that first 10 minutes, they were swinging the rock around, finding open looks. They need to be able to get back to that, and I think that's going to come at halftime when they reset for a bit.
As Logan's still the leading scorer for the Bulldogs, but no shot has been bigger than that 3 from Dylan Guyra just to stop the bleeding. As Warman gets the ball working against Dallas. Jump pass inside. Now it's out. Rigg. Bounce pass, Blauk. Working against 2. Back to Rigg. Working against Welch. Gets the pass inside, off the glass and in. Howell gets one to fall.
The Bulldogs have that smaller lineup in, just not enough big bodies down there to really do much against this Hope paint attack.
Lutz gets it over to Dallas. Now bounce pass to Welch. Jab step, drive right, step back. Mid-range, Darius Welch.
Woo! Pretty bucket there from Welch. It's an inefficient shot, but it doesn't matter if it goes through the nylon.
Trying to chew out some clock here with the shot clock off is Rick. Gets it to Warman. Been the hot hand so far for the Dutchman. Warman hounded, stolen by Welch. And it won't matter as Logan just tossed one in the general vicinity of the basket. But the horn sounds. It's 39-35 at the end of the first half in favor of the Flying Dutchman. How about the Bulldogs clawing back there late?
I mean, you got to love to see it. You know, they started off the game so well, but then slowed down a bit. So we're going to swing it down right now to our sideline reporter, Ava Aker.
Okay, guys, so on the sideline here, I have Coach Kaiser, the head Bulldog coach. So looking at what's happening for you offensively, what do you think's working well?
I mean, we're really getting the ball in the paint anytime we want to. We just got to eliminate some of the quick shots that we don't really need. There's been a couple times that we've been a little bit too fast. We had a stretch there where we weren't scoring it, but besides that, I mean, we've really gotten what we want. It's really the other side of the ball that we got to shore up, got to be a little bit better defensively if we want to win the game.
So what are you guys going to change defensively or work on?
Yeah, I mean, late clock, their point guard, Warman, he's a really good player. Might throw some doubles at him off the ball screens to try to get the ball out of his hands. And we just got to be tougher walling up around the rim. They're getting too many shots in the paint, late clock, and then we just got to clean the glass. I mean, I bet that they have 12 to 14 points off offensive rebounds, and that's the difference in the game right now. So those are things we can definitely shore up, and if we do, have a nice celebration after a nice win in the second half.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you, Ava, as the dance team takes the floor here for the halftime show. Remy, you were talking there before we stepped aside to go to Ava. What do the Bulldogs have to do in order to get back into this game and play the way they did in the first half?
Well, you just heard Tim Kaiser say it. It's a lot of it starting on the defensive end with just the lack of rebounding. He said they probably have 12 to 14 second chance points. Well, they have 11. So not quite as bad as he thought, but definitely a sign of what's really been going on in this game. These Hope Flying Dutchmen have just been dominating inside, and as a result, the Bulldogs spending a lot of energy on that side of the floor. So by the time they get to the other end, they feel the need to just rush shots up there. In the second half, they need to just calm down, play their game, and take the best shot they can.
Of course, Bulldogs trail by 4, but it's still a tight game. What do the Dutchmen got to do to extend their lead and secure the season sweep against the Bulldogs?
Well, honestly, they just need to keep doing what they're doing. You know, we know the team's strengths and weaknesses. We said they're not a great three-point shooting team. They're at 27.3% today. That's 3 for 11. But from the field, 58.6%. But what's really stood out to me, only 4 free throws from the Dutchmen so far. 2 for 4 from the line. I expect that to change. They've been forcing the ball inside. I believe they're going to continue to do that in the second half. I would expect that number of free throws to shoot way up here in the second half.
Couldn't agree more, as it's Seth Logan leading the Bulldogs so far with 11 points. On the flip side, Warman has 10 points in his own right. 4 for 7 from the field. Logan 4 for 4 alongside 3 for 3 from 3, as we will step aside. Don't go anywhere. You are watching MIAA men's basketball action on ACTV.
Bulldog fans, remember to follow Adrian College TV on social media. For game highlights and campus events, you can catch it all on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X at Adrian College TV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our future streams live and support your Bulldogs.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Gotten an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
You stand today, students, on the threshold of a magical time in your life. A time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and great opportunity. A time that you will always look back on.
This is the Arrington Bookstore at Adrian College, the place to get game day ready, represent your clubs and organizations, and be Bulldog proud. With a wide selection of merchandise and a smile at every visit, stop by inside the Kane Student Center to pick up your Adrian College wares and make it another great day to be a Bulldog.
I'm a special ed social worker.
And I'm a third-year public affairs major.
I'm an action filmmaker.
Jevi is like a consolidated platform where I could have focused information in a couple swipes.
You can be another small voice that adds to a beautiful space. That's what I'm here for.
Hi, I'm Aubrey Morgan, the current student government president here at Adrian College. I chose Adrian College because of the campus size. Campus feels like a fun, energetic community where everyone knows each other. If you want to see what Adrian has to offer for you, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
Adrian College is a private liberal arts institution known for its diverse academic programs, strong emphasis on experiential learning, vibrant campus life, and commitment to fostering a supportive community. Want to visit Adrian College for yourself? Visit our website at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
If there was one word I was going to use to describe the communication arts program at Adrian College, it would be unique. Students find themselves on the radio, in front of and behind the camera, and directing their own programs. Students learn in a personalized environment that sets them up for a world of opportunities. Are you ready for your moment in the limelight? Learn more about the Rush Communications Center and Adrian College's communications program by visiting adrian.edu today.
Are you looking to become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com. and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever.
These students who have worked so hard to achieve what so many never achieve. This evening you join the select company of people who hold a baccalaureate degree or a master's degree. You join a privileged group of individuals, a minority of persons in this country, and an even smaller fraction from around the world who have had both the opportunity to pursue higher education and the intelligence, discipline, and determination to reach this goal. You should be very proud.
I will unquestionably miss being an Adrian College Bulldog. I will miss the pink flowers that light up the campus each spring, the dining halls that prompt exchanges of, "How's your day been?" after a long day of classes, and the sporting events that fill students with pride. I will miss the way this campus instantly feels like home each time I set foot on that Bulldog mile.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Before the achievements, before the celebrations, there's the work. Early mornings, late nights. Every challenge faced, every extra effort made.
Every victory starts with preparation.
We value leadership, resilience, and innovation. No victory without work. Because success isn't given, it's earned. Welcome to Adrian College.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Gotten an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome to Adrian College, where we believe in educating both the heart and the mind. With over 100 innovative academic programs and 10 cutting-edge institutes, you'll find a path that's right for you. Join our vibrant community of over 50 athletic teams and discover why we're recognized as a U.S. News & World Report Most Innovative Institution. Adrian College, where passion meets purpose. Your future starts here.
And we're back inside the Marilat Sports and Fitness Center. Of course, joining me in the booth, Remington Gilniak. My name is Sean Whitmer. As we come back from an exciting first half of play, Bulldogs trail by 4 to the Hope Flying Dutchman. It's 39-35. Both teams will enter the second half with 3 timeouts remaining. And it was really led dominantly by 2 players, one from each side. As we take a look at Warman first. Or mind you, we'll take a look at Seth Logan first.
Oh, Seth Logan doesn't get too much better than that. 11 points in the night, 4 for 4 from the field, 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. We'll say we did have the rare miss from Seth Logan from the free throw line after that 4-point play, so couldn't convert that one. But definitely a standout performance so far for him.
Yeah, only thing keeping him from 100% true shooting percentage on the day throughout that first half. But he played phenomenally, just would like to see the ball in his hand a little bit more. Dutchman started to play some deny ball there late, and I think that's part of the reason why they lead by 4 at the break. Of course, on the flip side, the Flying Dutchmen were led by one of their leading guards in Marcus Warman, number 12, as we take a look at his numbers.
Well, Marcus Warman has been the absolute dog today, kind of the engine of this offense so far. We didn't expect it coming in, but, well, here we are, 10 points in the first half, 4 for 7 from the field, 2 for 3 from behind the three-point line, and most of those points came within a 3 to 4 possession stretch where he just caught fire and had all the confidence in the world, and, well, he was letting that thing fly.
Yeah, and 2 for 3 from 3 for him. Numbers aren't as astounding, but he does add on 3 steals, 1 rebound, 1 assist. He's committed 1 personal foul as well. Seth Logan has a steal and a turnover to his credit. Warman 2 turnovers, as those have been some of the biggest team numbers throughout this game. Taking a peek into the Flying Dutchman huddle, but turnovers, big aspect. Already have seen 18 combined turnovers in this contest. It's 10-8 in favor of the Bulldogs, who have committed less in that category, but rebounds really stand out to me so far throughout this game.
Absolutely. I said it right before we, came into the half, but, I would expect this Hope team, if things continue the way they are right now, that lead is going to continue to climb unless the Bulldogs do something about the rebounding. More than doubled they're getting right now in the rebound category, and a lot of those coming on the offensive end. That just creates second chances, just more opportunities for the buckets. When you're already a team who doesn't score at an elite clip, you need to win as many possessions as you can.
As we take a look back inside the action, unable to handle it, but everybody was just watching the ball on the floor. Whistle sounds, jump ball called, and we're going the other way. It's Bulldog basketball.
Yeah, talk about turnovers. Asking you shall receive. First possession of the second half. We already get one.
Might have been a little bit of a quick whistle there as well. I didn't see anybody have full control of the ball on the Bulldogs side as it's getting swung around. Now Logan. Entry pass to Welch, who can't handle it. Going the other way. Warman, stop, pop. And the 3 won't fall. Smiley, good interior presence. But rebound grabbed by the Dutchman. Whistle sounds, jump ball, first indication. It'll stay Dutchman basketball, but fans in front of us wanted to see a travel called on the Dutchman after the rebound.
Well, the referees were ruling that he never had full possession of the basketball, and, well, it's tough to argue against that. There were numerous hands that were on it, so at the end of the day, just Flying Dutchman just get another chance here.
As Smiley will get called for the foul, and the Dutchman will take a trip back to the line. Not as many free throws attempted in that first half as they would have expected or hoped for. Only 4 attempted so far throughout this game. They're looking for 5 and 6 right now. First one up will fall, as it was your player spotlight coming in. Yant standing on the line.
Yeah, the only reason Yant didn't get more run in the first half there was simply he picked up 2 fouls really in back-to-back possessions, but I mean, in 6 minutes, he's got 9 or make it 10 points after that make there. So I got to imagine here in the second half, we'll see Coach Mitchell stretch him out a little more.
Working now. The handoff to Welch. Screen by Smiley. Welch lets it fly. Can't get it. Rebound inside. Logan with the putback layup.
It's about time the Bulldogs got themselves an offensive rebound. And how about the smaller guard, Seth Logan, making a big man play, getting up, getting the rebound, putting it right back up for 2.
Howell gets outside. Warman swings it over. Mims, jab step, drive. Down Broadway with the easy right-handed finish.
Yeah, a lot of space down low for Justice Mims there.
I believe technical foul is the indication.
We'll take another look at it here, what happened after the play. I didn't see anything there. Wondering if it was words said by player there.
Couldn't see a number either. I thought he was indicating that it was number 12.
Well, you saw Darius Welch go up to the official immediately after the play asking, I mean, he was upset he didn't get called for a foul in his three-point attempt, so maybe some of that carried over as he looks right now visibly frustrated over by the Bulldog bench. But it's been Carson Lutz who's been having words with the officials for the duration of those free throw attempts.
And it looks like it's officially credited to Darius Welch, who gets his third personal foul there on the technical.
Yeah, just a careless foul there. Look at both all these Bulldog big men. Welch with 3 fouls, Smiley with 3, Burns with 2. So as we get deeper into this game, we may see those fouls start to creep up a little bit and, force Tim Kaiser to get creative with his lineups.
As Logan misses his first from the field, transitioning the other way, Yant, he'll slow up the tempo. Now gives it over to Cargill, back to Yant. Fakes the handoff, he'll drive inside. Yant spinning, gets trapped. It's outside now. Find Cargill, jab step. Outside to Mims. Mims driving hard. They don't call the travel. Turnaround jumper won't go. Rebound Burns. Pushes tempo. Inside Lutz gets fouled on the shot. And he'll shoot 2.
I am still a little bit confused on why we didn't see a travel on the other end. So now there's a conversation having on the court right now.
And it looks like they're going to call another technical. So I believe Cargill's going to shoot 2 here for the technical foul. And then we'll get the free throws on the other end for the Bulldogs, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, you see Tim Kaiser has his guys huddled up right now over by the Bulldog bench. Starting to maybe lose the mental part of the game a little bit as we, kind of get into the grind of this game.
How often do you see a player commit a foul and then shoot free throws afterwards, as Cargill was accredited with the foul on the opposite end of the floor and then takes a little trot down to shoot a couple free throws himself. Still awaiting the official word on who got the technical foul for the Bulldogs. But Lutz will shoot 2 down on this end.
Well, I can tell you it wasn't Darius Welch. He's still on the court, so it wasn't a second one charged to him. And unless Tim Kaiser said something, it didn't look like he was too frustrated with a call made. So, again, still a little curious as to where that technical foul came from.
As it's just accredited to Adrian, so might have been to the bench.
I will say, whoever said something about it, they did have a case. It looked like a walk down low. It didn't end up mattering, but, it's the principle of the thing.
Hop step inside, and an easy finish by Howell. Howell, big shoes to fill here today, as Welch gets the screen from Smiley, swings it outside. Logan lets it fly, and he'll shoot 3 from the line. It's starting to get dangerous with these Hope defenders getting in his landing area so often.
On one end, you're excited. Hey, he's going to the line for 3 free throws here. But on the other end, it's a player safety thing. At the end of the day, these are student athletes. Basketball isn't everything for them. So when you have defenders continuously running into the landing zone of Logan, it starts to creep into the back of his mind. Maybe he doesn't have such a quick trigger as this thing rolls on.
Rule, of course, started thanks to a Kawhi Leonard injury however many years ago when he went up and got a player in his landing area. Ended up causing a leg injury that made it a pretty big staple rule throughout all of basketball.
I mean, it's so hard for a defender with, even Logan, who isn't a lights-out shooter. The fact that he draws a lot of attention, once he gets the ball on the perimeter, starts to kind of become a safety thing.
Two for 3 from the line for Logan. Ball gets up to Howell, who slides, and no call there for travel either. Bulldogs unhappy about the travel call situation right now. Yant hands it off. Mims gets the screen from Yant. Bounce pass inside to Yant. Gets the finish just over the front of the rim. Pushing it up to Logan. Last touched by Logan is the call. It's going the other way. And I think the officials are starting to call it in favor of the Dutchman at this moment.
Take a look at Carson Lutz. He can't believe it. The second that call was made, that jaw dropped wide open. I'm not saying it was the right or wrong call, but, well, different reactions on both sides tell the full story.
Yant outside. Now an entry pass. Bounce pass back. Howell gets good contest by Burns. Couldn't tell if he got a hand on the shot or not. Lutz gets inside, off the glass, can't get it. Burns offensive rebound. Welch outside, lets it fly.
Big time three for Darius Welch. Couple of bad possessions in a row, but a big offensive rebound by Burns. Swings it out to Welch. Nothing but nylon for him.
Played over to Mims. Entry pass, Yant, pressured by Guyra. Gets it outside, Howell fakes the handoff, now gives. Cargill launches one, can't get it. Yant with the rebound, working against Guyra. Guyra with some pretty aggressive hands, but Yant will get the finish around the rim.
I'll tell you what, they cannot stop Orion Yant in the paint right now. You know, isn't the most physical guy down there, but has great footwork getting in his spots and all making the close layups.
Guyra trying to feed Welch, but Logan gets it. Logan with the step back fadeaway from the 2-point land. Timeout on the floor for media.
We'll take another look at that Darius Welch three. Good closeout by a pair of defenders, but Welch just using that big frame to shoot right over the defense, and he's feeling himself after that one.
As, of course, Bulldogs needing it as well. Logan now with 17 points, 6 for 7 from the field, 3 for 3 from 3, as we will go down to the floor, go down to Ava Aker.
We can tell that emotions are really high in here. So if we look back at the teams and their past against each other, the Bulldogs' last win against the Hope Flying Dutchmen dates back to 2020. And we can tell that the intensity that the Bulldogs are playing with today shows that they are ready to put an end to that streak today. Let's see if they can do it. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Ava, as of course, they didn't just win once that year, they won twice, once in the regular season, once in the postseason tournament. And it's going to take a lot of energy to finish this game out strong and come away victorious. Remy, they're trailing by 7. What are you seeing so far here to start the second half?
Well, frankly, I think the emotions are getting out of hand. We talked about it at the end of the first half. You know, those shots were just coming up too quick. Even Tim Kaiser mentioned it as we went into the break. No, these guys just need to calm down. They need to start playing with that cohesion that we saw early on in this game. We forget they got off to such a good start, but since then it's just kind of been, you know, a mix of egos and negative emotions all coming together. And well, all of a sudden you look up and you're trailing at the second biggest deficit you've seen today. And, well, in order to get back in it, they got to put the heads down and get in that grind.
Looks like the unit on the floor right now for the Dutchman will be Sanchez, I believe Howell, or no, forgive me, it won't be Howell, it will be Carlson, Sanchez, Yant, Cargill, and Newhouse. Sanchez gets it to Yant, works right, fakes to Cargill, up top, Newhouse, bounce pass, back door, kick corner, Cargill, front rims it, and a little bit of gravity defying there. Foul called on the floor.
Yeah, it's going to go against Jeremiah Dallas. Dallas, that's only his first foul of the game so far. But the Dutchman rolled out a big lineup against the Bulldogs' relatively small lineup. You know, I was a little surprised they got such a good look from 3, and well, maybe even more surprised that Cargill didn't knock that one down.
Yes, timeout called now by head coach Tim Kaiser. So we will step aside with them. Don't go anywhere. You are watching MIAA basketball action on ACTV.
This is the Arrington Bookstore at Adrian College, the place to get game day ready, represent your clubs and organizations, and be Bulldog proud. With a wide selection of merchandise and a smile at every visit, stop by inside the Kane Student Center to pick up your Adrian College wares and make it another great day to be a Bulldog.
Don't miss Chase Matthew live at Adrian College on March 21st at 7 p.m. for our spring concert. It's free for all Adrian College students, and tickets are available now at adriancollege.hometownticketing.com. That's March 21st. Chase Matthew at Adrian College. We are holding it down.
Of course, spring concert, a yearly tradition here on the campus of Adrian College, and it's a fun one at that. As coming out of the break, Yant looking to inbound it. Gets it to the corner. Bounce pass back inside to Yant. Yant gets trapped, blocked by Burns. Misses the second chance. Rebound now by Welch. As Yant slow to get up. Welch pushing tempo. He'll find Logan. Now Dallas. Pump fake. Has Logan back up top. And it's poked out of his hands by Sanchez and down onto the ground.
Yeah, you mentioned Yant was slow to get up. He was limping his whole way down the court there.
Entry to Burns. Burns, bounce pass. And now outside for Logan. Can't get it to fall.
Man, it's the best look he's had all day, and of course it's the one he couldn't knock down.
We are looking at the emotions down here on the court, and they are very, very strong. We are looking at what both coaches are saying during the timeouts, and they are both telling them to relax. Even the coaches are getting high energy and high intensity, but they have to keep in mind that when they're playing this game, it is really emotional, and especially with a score that is this close, they have to keep in mind to play calm and relaxed. Even though their pace and their adrenaline might want to keep them going up faster, they have to calm down, and that is what both coaches are saying. The coach of the Adrian College Bulldogs was saying that there's a lot of pressure, and they have to make this game tough, but also play at a really good pace, and to make sure that they stop following and making sure that they play clean basketball. Act up to you.
Thank you, Ava, as we've just seen Seth Logan with another turnaround mid-range fall. Outside, Sanchez front rims it. Rebound, Dallas. Dallas hits Lutz. Lutz inside, gets it to fall.
That's
Four straight for the Bulldogs.
It's a big-time play. We're going to take another look at it here.
As Sanchez gets it up to Newhouse. Now Yant trying to work against Lutz. Outside, Sanchez. Jab step, gets into the body, goes up. Burns pleading that he went vertically, but the foul called nonetheless.
We're going to take another look at that Jeremiah Dallas dish to Carson Lutz. Beautiful bleeding bounce pass leads to the easy bucket. I'll tell you what, this Adrian College bench not happy with the call. Every single one of them, given the universal replay motion, is in to take it upstairs and challenge it, but fortunately for them, it's not going to happen here.
Game this close, you need to save your challenge for something you think you can definitively win, as all it takes in that situation is for Burns' hand to be coming down just slightly, and they will call it as it stands on the floor.
I'll tell you what, I think we got a pretty good look at it from up here, and well, I mean, I will admit I have a little bit of bias on my side, but It looked like Burns went pretty vertical there. And that whistle also came pretty late, which has got to be infuriating.
Burns got sent off for, I believe, blood. Not sure. Officials aren't sending in a new player, aren't forcing coach to send in a new player, and now they will. Lepper will step in for the Bulldogs.
Lepper only at 6'2", a far cry from Burns at 6'5". Again, this Hope lineup is pretty tall right now. I got to imagine they're going to be forcing it inside here.
Which isn't much of a change of pace, as that's what the Dutchmen have done all day. Lutz gives it to Dallas, fumbles with it for a moment. He'll just go into the dribble to save from the travel. Back outside to Lutz. Hezzy inside, goes up through contact. Carson Lutz.
How about Carson Lutz putting the ball on the floor? Big man basket, lowering the head, lowering the shoulder, going right against the contact of Sam Carlson, getting it done.
Outside. Swinging it around. Now finds Bishop, who spins into the lane. Dallas. Jump ball called. Dallas got his hands on it. I believe that'll make it Bulldog basketball. Yes, it will. Another great play where Jeremiah Dallas has active hands.
You know, I was going to say active hands again, but you kind of stole my mojo there, partner. So I'll just say a mighty fine defensive play from Jeremiah Dallas.
Lepper gets it up top to Lutz. Lutz swings to Dallas. Sets a little ghost screen. Dallas drives, kick, corner, Lepper. The catapult jumper will fall. It's Caden Lepper.
Hey, don't look now, Sean. We got ourselves a tied ball game, under 12 to go. We got a good one brewing here at the Marilot.
Newhouse takes Dallas down by the head area. Gets inside, he'll kick corner. Now outside, Warman directing traffic. Little entry pass over the head of Lepper, stolen away by Logan. Lutz driving and can't handle his feet. Lepper picks up the loose ball. He gets it inside to Logan. Takes it to the corner, now skip pass over to Dallas. Dallas drives inside, and a great finish by Jeremiah Dallas.
That's one of the best offensive possessions we've seen by the Bulldogs today. You see that ball ping-ponging around on the offensive end, leads to a great bucket from Dallas and an exclamation point.
Timeout called by the Dutchmen. It'll be an official's timeout for the media stoppage. Under 12. So we will step aside with them. Don't go anywhere. Bulldogs lead 57-55 over the Flying Dutchman out of Hope College. We'll be back in a moment.
Adrian College is a pinpoint like no other. With our 77 undergraduate degrees, 47 majors, and 21 broad fields of study, Adrian has a one-of-a-kind, hands-on learning experience for everyone. Do you want to visit the campus of Adrian College in person? Visit adrian.edu/campus-visit. Again, that's adrian.edu/campus-visit. Come take in the beautiful facilities at Adrian College for yourself.
Inside look there at the Bulldog bench area, and head coach Tim Kaiser letting his players know what's working and what isn't. Trying to get a good word there in the huddle.
Now what I really like is, well, we've talked a lot about emotions, especially early on in the second half, and it goes both ways. On one end, you're not emotional enough. You're just kind of going through the motions, especially you hear that a lot on the defensive end, just walking through, going through the motions. But that's not what the Bulldogs have done. They've, kind of gone on the other end of the spectrum, been very emotional throughout this game. but it comes and goes. You know, they've made some big plays in this one, and it's great to see them getting fired up. Not only does it, you know, fire up the guys on the court, but the guys on the bench. It keeps them engaged, keeps them fresh, so when they do come into the game, they can make the immediate impact. We've seen that today. We've seen guys off the bench really be difference makers in this game.
Yant gets it up top. Howell working. Now Mims swings it to Yant. Little jab step, hesitation, spins on Welch. Yant can't keep it in his hands. Gets a wobbler over to Mims. Mims fouled by Welch on the way up, and maybe the easiest call of the day. No controversy on that one.
Yeah, it feels nice to have a foul called where, you know, I don't have to pretend like I agree with the call. You know, as soon as he drove in there, Welch went up with the left hand and just swatted the arm. No debate about that one.
First trip to the line for Mims here today. He is 2 for 4 from the field on the game, 0 for 1 from 3, and he'll start out 1 for 1 from the line. He's also got 4 rebounds and 1 assist. Of course, during our pregame show, we had talked a lot about depth, and that is what Hope wanted to use, was depth. They have used 4 more players off their bench than the Bulldogs have, and every player that has played in this game for them, outside of 1, has played at least 6 minutes.
You're going to see that pay dividends as we go down. The Bulldogs, they've been playing a very physical brand of basketball today. You know they're starting to feel a little fatigued, a little tired out there. Meanwhile, Hope, you got to imagine they're just at least a little bit more fresh.
Lepper swings it up top. Lutz steps back. Now it's Logan. Pump fake. Inside. Logan fouled and 1 opportunity.
I'll tell you what, Seth Logan having his best game of the season. We'll take another look at it. Gets the pass in the wing, drives in, puts the head down, goes up through the contact, gets the bucket. I'm sorry to do this to you, Sean, but I got to point it out. Got so excited after the N1 that he fell out of his chair.
I did, but I caught myself better than most would have. And now I've made the decision I will be standing for the rest of this game.
Well, at a certain point, this whole place is going to be standing up if, you know, the finish lines up with what we've been seeing so far.
Bulldogs lead by 3. Warman drives left, goes up. Great defense there by Lutz. Lutz gets a screen from Burns. Hesitation, gets the switch. Now Lepper gets it back up top to Lutz. Had Logan on the entry, decides to stay outside with Dallas. Dallas drives inside, fouled on the way up. And the foul tally's getting ever so closer to being even.
Yeah, definitely not what we expected to see coming into this game. We thought it would be orange jerseys on the free throw line all game. But it's been the Bulldogs who've been pushing the envelope, getting inside, making physical plays, and even when they're not finishing, they're still getting to the line and hitting their free throws at a decent rate today.
Dallas back rims the first attempt.
I'll go my bet on the announcer jinx there.
I might have fell out of my seat, but at least I didn't jinx him. Second one up. Can't get that one to go either. Ball saved by Howell. Mims will slow the pace. Gets it to Howell. Driving right. Guarded by Logan. Now up top to Yant. Looking for Warman. It's Mims working against Lepper. This is what Lepper's usually best at. Playing on-ball defense. As now Lutz going against Warman. It's 12 on 12, and Warman wins the battle.
That is such a tough bucket from Marcus Warman. Drives through the defense baseline. Tough reverse layup.
As Logan tried to launch a deep 3. It's a 1-point game. Bulldogs lead 60-59. Warman kicks outside. Cargill sets one up and buries it to give the Dutchman the 2-point lead.
Well, it was only a matter of time before Cargill got one to fall. He was 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3 before that shot. And he finally puts one in for the Flying Dutchman.
Lutz gets the screen from Burns, spins around it. Now Lutz getting stuck, gets Dallas. with the crossover. Dallas working inside. Dallas gets it to go, and one opportunity. Bulldogs with a chance to take the lead back.
Anything you can do, I can do better. We're going to take another look at it here. Dallas looks to be caged, but goes baseline, somehow fights through the contact, finds a way to get it up, and puts it in. You know, especially following that last layup by Warman on the other end, that nice reverse layup. It's got to feel good. You know, especially answering that three-point attempt there. We got ourselves a tie game.
Dallas couldn't get the free throw to go. Not shooting phenomenally from the line on the season, 65% coming into today. On-ball defense, very good from Dallas, but Warman got him to flinch. Blocked by Burns. An entry pass to Yant, and a phenomenal pass out of the hands of Carlson.
Yeah, just unfortunate play there for the Bulldogs. Good block by Burns, but again, just found the hands of a Flying Dutchman way too quickly. Ball swings around. He gets a good look out of it.
As Burns back rims the midi. Now Warman brings it up. Dallas looks to take him away. Warman won the battle last time. Hesitates. Dallas reaches. Warman drives, kicks. Back to Warman up top. Now is Cargill. Jab step. Working against Dallas. It's Lepper on Warman. Lutz takes over, and Lutz called for the foul on the floor.
Man, Lutz not happy with the foul call against him. Immediate reaction after he commits the foul as another whistle come in here.
As we see we will step aside momentarily here as the Flying Dutchman lead by 2. Don't go anywhere. You are watching MIAA basketball action on ACTV.
Elevate your game? At Adrian College, our athletes strive for excellence on and off the field. Get involved in over 50 student clubs and organizations where your passions meet purpose. With innovative programs and personalized learning, our academics are designed to ignite your future. Experience vibrant student life, where community and connection shape your college journey. Adrian College, where you belong. Apply today and become part of the Bulldog family.
Would like to remind you that all Adrian College broadcasts are fully student ran. Of course, we have Remington Gilniak joining myself, Sean Whitmer, up here in the booth today, along with Aiden Travers, Keegan Wade, and Tate Wise operating cameras for us on today's contest. We have Josiah Durrell as our director, Dakota Schneider on switcher. Of course, Ava Aker doing sideline reporting for us today. And Gabrielle Brumet is doing some B-roll throughout the contest.
Well, Warman back on the line here. And you know, he's been really the difference maker so far. Been the engine, not the most efficient guy in the world. 5 for 11 from the field so far, but he's made the big ones when they count. 3 for 5 from 3 as he drills that one. Definitely, he's been a problem for the Bulldogs, and well, if they want to try to win this game, they're going to have to either slow him down or, well, stop him completely.
As Lutz looking to bring the ball up the court, working against Cargill. Little ghost screen there from Smiley. Now outside to Burns. Burns drives inside. Kicks back outside to Lutz. Jab step. Drives left against Cargill. Bounce pass to Smiley. Smiley against the smaller defender. Smiley goes up with it, and it rims around and out. Was looking for the soft touch finish.
Tough break from Smiley there. Got a good look, and, well, just the way it goes sometimes.
Official having to talk to the Hope bench as Cargill launches another 3. Can't get it. Yant with the rebound. And it's stolen away. Barnes gets on the floor and picks it up, gets it to Logan.
Stop me if you've heard it before. Jeremiah Dallas, active hands, getting a steal.
Logan gets inside. Little shoulder shrug, and Logan buries another midi.
And Seth Logan up to 24 points in the game now.
Lutz. Now Smiley guarding Yant. Dallas on Warman. Warman, drive, kick, foul called. Looks to be going against Dallas.
You know, we got about just over 6 minutes left in this game, and I think it's worth noting that in our pregame discussion with, Coach Dav of the Flying Dutchman, he mentioned just the committee of players that we were going to be seeing today, and one of those names was Brendan Cargill that he mentioned. And so far, he's been extremely quiet, definitely not what we expected. In 20 minutes, he's 1 for 7 from the field, 1 for 6 from 3, 4 for 4 from the line, only 7 points in the game. Just hasn't been that difference maker. But again, going back to the committee, you have someone like Marcus Warman, who stepped up today, has 15 points in the game. Orion Yant, 16 points in the game. What he said pregame is coming to fruition in front of our eyes here.
Last second defensive shift here for the Dutchman as Lutz will bring the ball up the court. Light pressure from Sanchez. Gets it over to Barnes. Hand off to Dallas. Back up top to Lutz. Swings it over to Logan. Returns to Lutz. Screen by Smiley. He dives down. Lutz drives in. Lutz with the fadeaway. Can't get it to fall. Rebound, no. Stolen away by Barnes. Outside for Logan. Logan tries the three. Can't get it. Contact after the rebound goes against Jeremiah Dallas.
So that's Dallas's 4th foul of the game. Got to imagine Coach Kaiser's going to pull him, as yes he does. He'll come out in favor of Welch.
Welch with 4 personal fouls on the game, so still running a risk here, but under 6 minutes, I don't think anybody's going to be too upset having Welch out there.
Again, we talked about it before the game. We expected the Bulldog big men to be in foul trouble late in this game. That's exactly what we have. You have Welch, who has 4 fouls, Smiley with 3, Burns with 3, now Dallas with 4. Outside of those, no one's really committing fouls because those are your primary on-ball defenders. But it's just worth noting that, one more foul and, well, they're gone.
As Carlson will check in for the Dutchman. They're trying to deny Lutz. Still gets it to him. Up to Barnes. Now swinging it around. Logan back to Lutz. Smiley had the dive inside. Lutz didn't see him. It's outside to Welch. Kicked back. Lutz hesitates again. Has to return it up to Welch. 7 seconds. Welch lets it fly. And he wants the foul on the arm, but no call. There was a lot of contact on the shot. All Welch can do is shrug it off and keep walking.
Welch has got to be careful here. He has not stopped John since he let that 3 fly.
Six-point game. Newhouse kicks to the wing. Jab step by Sanchez. Back to Newhouse. Now Warman. Warman driving, kicks outside to Sanchez. Swings it over to Cargill. Cargill lets the 3 fly and buries it.
Well, Cargill might be catching fire here. Had a very slow about 15 minutes, but really the last couple, he's been that guy for the Flying Dutchman.
Logan drives inside. He's worked well in the mid-range area. Gets it outside to Smiley. Has it stolen right out of his hands. And reach-in foul called on Smiley.
Not all fouls are created equal. This one definitely going to hurt. So we flash back to that 3-pointer from Cargill. But that puts Smiley at 4 fouls in the game now. But, it being 4 minutes, 36 seconds left in this game, you're going to run your best 5 you can, regardless of foul risk.
That also moves the Flying Dutchman into the double bonus now, so it's 2 for Sanchez, even if he would have missed that first one.
You know, this is what Hope does. They've done it historically, and they've done it again this year. They get to the line more than any other team, and that helps them close games. If you look at their scoring and their points allowed, they're third in the conference in points scored, third in points allowed, fourth in free throw percentage, third in turnovers a game, third in opponent turnovers per game. They don't do anything extremely well, but they do nothing extremely bad. They're just a good, fundamental team who knows how to close out games, and that's what we're seeing right now.
As Lutz gets fouled on the floor. Goes against Sanchez.
Now, going back to my last point, we haven't seen, you know, outside of a few plays for these Flying Dutchmen, them really outclass Adrian in any way. They've just been a little bit better on the rebounds. They've been better in not turning it over. No backcourt called there.
Logan outside, lets the three go, and he will answer. As we see it again, Logan, late contest from Warman. But Logan gets himself another one.
And I'll tell you what, Seth Logan keeping these Bulldogs in the game. That is his 27th of the game. On his 5th three. You know, he's been the guy, he's really the only perimeter threat the Bulldogs have had today. If you look around, Welch 1 for 6 from behind the line. Lutz 1 for 3. Now Lepper 1 for 1. Van Lanningham 1 for 2. Guyra 1 for 1. But in terms of volume, it's only been Seth Logan who's been efficient. And as the clock continues to dwindle down, if you want to overcome this 8-point deficit, you're either going to have to get hot from 3 or all of a sudden and learn how to command the offensive glass.
Yeah, as we get a look down inside the huddle and what Coach Tim Kaiser is telling them, no panic on the face of Coach Kaiser. And I don't think he should be, as they're only down 8 with 4 minutes left. And while that might seem like a lot, this is college basketball, and that is an easy number to overcome.
Yeah, even a team like Adrian, they're definitely not known for their scoring. You know, they are 7th in the MIAA at 71 points a game, so they're going to finish right around there once again today. But how can they try and close this game out? That is the ultimate question that we're about to find out. You know, are we going to see him chuck a bunch of threes and hope Logan stays hot? Are we going to see Welch drive in, try to get to the free throw line? You know, what type of offensive sets are we going to see Tim Kaiser run in these final 4 minutes plus?
I think a lot of it has to not necessarily play through Logan, but you need to be keeping Logan in the forefront of your brain if you're both of these teams, as don't necessarily love Welch pressing with 4 fouls, but they get out of there cleanly. Warman works, gets it over to Newhouse, working against Welch. As Sanchez steps through, but Welch with the rebound. Welch will push tempo. Crossover. Welch has it pickpocketed from behind. Going the other way, Cargill, bounce pass, Warman finishes inside. Dallas wisely stays on the court by keeping his hands to himself. Screen from Burns. Dallas hesitates outside. Logan sends another one. Can't get it to go.
Bulldogs got to start getting some stops now, because, you know, the next minute and a half or two, we're going to start seeing the foul game come into play here, and that's going to be it for Jeremiah Dallas.
And with Dallas stepping out, that'll bring Van Lanningham into the game, and I think that's the right move. While he hasn't been necessarily the best three-point shooter as of late in the season, he's already hit 1 today, and he's one of their better three-point shooters in his own right.
I mean, that's the way the Bulldogs are going to have to get back into this game. You're trailing by 10, even after the miss right there. You know, they're going to have to make the threes, and if they miss, find a way to get that offensive rebound. That's why I like Burns in the game right now. He's really been the only Bulldog who's been capable of getting offensive rebounds at a semi-consistent rate.
He does lead the Bulldogs in rebounds with 6. Sets the screen now for Lutz. Another screen. Playing like a saloon door as Lutz gets inside. Goes up on Yant. And able to make the finish. Bulldogs trail by 9. Pushed Sanchez. He's working against Logan. Now it's up top, Newhouse. Dribbles inside, gets it outside to Warman. He'll direct Yant. Now entry, Cargill with the easy finish. Great pass by Yant.
Well, that's just a good off-ball slip. These Flying Dutchmen know the Bulldogs are going to be sitting in lanes. They want to force turnovers right now, so taking advantage of it with the backdoor slip.
As the backdoor cut, pass to Burns, and the Bulldogs will answer.
Yeah, big finish there by Burns. Back-to-back possessions where we saw someone slip off the baseline. So still a 9-point deficit for the Bulldogs, just over 2 minutes to play. As these seconds continue to dwindle, it's going to take more and more from these Dogs.
Yeah, they're going to have to start locking in on the defensive end, as you mentioned earlier, create those stops and try to create transition opportunities the other way. You just can't get sloppy with the ball when you're running up the court, especially in these moments, as they've had a couple moments that have felt like good possessions waiting to happen that have been squandered by turnovers early in the shot clock.
Absolutely. We talked about, I don't want to say wasted possessions, but more of just missed opportunities in that first half when things were going good, and then all of a sudden they started getting a little selfish on the offensive end, taking some shots they probably shouldn't have. If you turn 2 to 3 of those possessions into, buckets, you're looking at a 1 to 2 possession game right now with 2 minutes left versus at best a 3-possession game. And, outside of Logan, no one on the court right now really a huge threat to make threes. Even Welch has struggled behind the line today. So the things are definitely looking very, very uphill for the Bulldogs if they want to at least tie this game and buy themselves some extra time.
Logan leads all shooters from beyond the arc, 4 for 7 on the game. Warman inbounds, and they're going to call a foul on Lutz as the ball wasn't even being possessed by anyone. Welch was going to scoop it off the deck. Might be an early indication of things to come as the foul and free throw game looking to transpire here. Biggest number so far to look at as far as the team stats go. 35 rebounds on the game for the Flying Dutchman, only 19 for the Bulldogs throughout this contest, and that has been widely dominated by Burns, Lutz, and Welch, who have 15 just between the three of them.
We said it before, but this Hope team, they know how to close out games. They get rebounds, they control the pace, they make their free throws. If you have a lead late in the game, those are the 3 things you need to do, and Hope does them better than anyone in the conference.
As Lutz will push tempo. Moving with speed, gets a screen from Welch. Now gets it outside to Welch. Step through, gets it back to Lutz. Little stop screen and an air ball caused. 2 Bulldogs go for the save, leaving it underneath the baseline.
Yeah, Lutz not known particularly for his perimeter shooting, but had a decent look there, but maybe a little smidge out of his range and leaves it well short.
Now Warman. Same corner that it got trapped in before. Entry to Lutz, able to pick it back up. Reach in, foul called on Warman. Bulldogs not yet in the bonus, or that will put them in the first step of the bonus, so a 1-and-1 here for Lutz.
The only issue with the Bulldogs at the line here is, unless they get an offensive rebound off the missed second free throw, you're only looking at a maximum of 2 points per possession, and with under 2 minutes to go in a game where you haven't been able to get consistent defensive stops, even with playing great defense here, odds still not in their favor.
Lutz goes 2 for 2 from the line. Timeout looks to be called by the Flying Dutchman. Bulldogs with 0 left here in this contest.
You know, earlier on we were talking a lot about emotions in this game, and well, right now things have completely flip-flopped. Haven't seen any emotion out of anyone in a white jersey seemingly in about a decade. You know, everyone over there just head down, kind of moping around right now, and you know, you understand it to an extent. You know, you're under 2 minutes left in this game, you're down pretty big, so it makes sense that maybe you're not jumping up and down. But even after Lutz nails his free throws, the high fives that came in were a little slow, a little bit delayed. So the Bulldogs right now, I just don't think the mentality's there, and well, frankly, I think a few of them may be starting to give up.
Yeah, as we get a look here at what just transpired recently, it was Lutz getting inside, makes the basket. Bulldogs were then able to get the steal, get the foul, get to the line, make 2 more, and make it back into a 9-point game. They got to start hitting some threes with a minute 53 remaining here in this game. 1 timeout remains for the Flying Dutchman, who are also in the double bonus. Warman, who fumbles with it for a moment. He'll get it to Cargill. Cargill sprinting ahead. Welch maybe could have been called for a reach, but Cargill getting sloppy with it. Now Sanchez, guarded by Logan. He stopped his feet, trying to force the backcourt. It's up top to Yant. 8 seconds remain in the shot clock. Yant gets it to Sanchez. Sanchez driving left, has to pick up his dribble. Kicks up top, shot clock violation for the Flying Dutchman.
That was one of the better defensive possessions we've seen by the Bulldogs today, but on the flip side, it was the Flying Dutchman. That was a self-inflicted wound there. You saw Marcus Warman just sitting on the wing by himself, not really doing anything. That killed a few seconds there. It took him a while to get it up, but just not a lot of urgency there. And well, with a minute 21, why would you need urgency with a 9-point lead?
Wise play there by Welch to roll it in as keeps the clock stopped. Van Lanningham up top has to pick it up. Swung over, Lutz sends another deep one. Back rim, can't get it to go. That's just not the shot they need, as there's head contact on the floor from Yant, and Logan slow to get up.
Yeah, it was a big-time rebound. I believe it was Mims who came down with the rebound and tried to clear some space with the elbow and the ball. I believe it was ball to face contact, not an elbow. So, you know, I mean, Seth Logan got up fairly quick considering getting hit in the face. Doesn't look like he's bleeding at all. So he'll be able to finish out the last, 67 seconds of this game.
And I believe there was a timeout called instantly by the Flying Dutchman, as they've already lost the ball once down there due to a trap. Trying to avoid doing that once again. Bulldogs still trail by 9. 17, more than 17 total fouls here in this second half. 7 committed by the Flying Dutchman alone.
Now, if you remember, when we went into halftime, the Hope Flying Dutchman had 4 free throw attempts. And we said it was going to change. Not sure I expected it to go up by 400% plus here in the second half.
And that's been the big difference maker so far for those at home who don't feel like pulling out a calculator. That puts the Flying Dutchman at 26 free throw attempts so far in this contest. Bulldogs with 21 themselves. But 9 3-pointers made for the Bulldogs, 5 for the Flying Dutchman. Bulldogs will need to increase that category if they hope to win this ball game here. As you mentioned, only 67 seconds remaining, and there's an officials conference there around the half-court line that I think is holding this up a little bit. The coach is taking advantage of the situation, but not quite sure what the conference could be. Maybe double-checking that that's not a flagrant foul down there on the line.
Yeah, I believe that's what they're looking at right now. Is he's explaining it right now. As I don't believe we're going to have a flagrant foul here. I don't believe that there is intent there. And, you know, in a game, I don't want to say the game's decided, but usually when you're up at this point, you're not given 100% intensity on the defensive end, especially in a situation like that. So I don't think there was any intent behind it, just kind of an unfortunate thing that happened.
So inbound here for the Bulldogs. Flipped over to Welch. Handoff to Lutz, back to Welch. Welch now working against Warman. Gets it up top. Logan steals it away from Lutz. Logan lets it fly, can't get it to go. Rebound Van Lanningham. Gets inside. Van Lanningham goes up, blocked on the shot. And a jump ball called. It'll be Hope basketball.
Well, you can only stay on fire for so long before the water comes in. Seth Logan's had himself a fantastic game, but here with just about 50 seconds left, nowhere near the rim on that three-point attempt there. And with that miss, it's going to likely do it.
Doesn't help that Logan ended up getting essentially guarded by his own teammate there, trying to rip the ball out of the hands.
Yeah, just kind of a miscommunication on offense. Again, this late, the Bulldogs, their only chance is just kind of chuck up some threes. So with two perimeter-oriented guards standing on the three-point line, they're eventually going to clash.
Cargill, no other Hope players near the three-point line. Cargill will bury both. Inbounded to Burns, back to Welch. Welch pushing tempo. Stops inside to Burns. Outside, Lutz. He'll drive. Lutz pull up mid-range. Gets it to go.
It's a nice little bucket there from Lutz. We've seen him take that shot a few times today, and this time gets the shooter's roll.
It's what the Bulldogs guards have done so well throughout this contest. As Lutz with the intentional foul, but Cargill, the last player you want to foul. He's 8 for 8 from the line so far. Shooting his 9th and 10th free throws now.
You know, with these free throws here, it's going to put the Flying Dutchman at 30 attempts for the game. You know, that compares to the Bulldogs at 21. But I'm more concerned about the efficiency. 89.3%, make that even higher now, over 90% in the game. Wow, meanwhile, the Bulldogs 14 for 21, 66.7%, two-thirds. Now, those are the type of numbers that in a game like this, it's tough to overcome. You left 7 free points up on the board, and that's a tough pill to swallow at the end of this one.
As Lepper commits a turnover, and Warman will just dribble it out. Welch almost fouls out, almost gets the ball back, but this has been an eventful, meaningless, and now an even more eventful, meaningless 10 seconds as a double dribble committed by Mims.
You saw Mims as soon as it happened just kind of start laughing. He completely forgot he had ever dribbled the ball after pivoting around for a few minutes there.
As Burns puts up the last second mid-range, but can't get anything to go as he hits the side of the iron. And the Bulldogs will lose this game 85-75 in a game that had been close throughout and seemed a lot closer, but both games between these two teams will end in a 10-point victory for the Flying Dutchman.
Yeah, it was a good game all around in terms of entertainment value. There were 7 times today where the game was tied. That included 4 lead changes, but overall it was the Flying Dutchman who pretty much dominated the scoreboard, especially in that second half. 22 minutes, 39 seconds they spent with the lead in this one. That compares to Adrian at only about 12 and a half minutes. Now that seems like a pretty big margin, you know, when you consider that most of this game was played within single figures.
Yeah, and I think the biggest aspect of the game comes down to the final 4 minutes, where the Bulldogs just couldn't get their shots to fall when it counted most, and they couldn't seem to handle themselves when they needed to stay as composed as humanly possible.
Yeah, you know, it really seemed like the Bulldogs were going to continue the way they played in those first. Really, it was the first 8 minutes of the game that the Bulldogs really shined. Beyond that point, just the offense lacked consistency, and they couldn't get the big stops on defense. They couldn't get the rebounds. Just got severely outclassed on that end of the floor.
As we will have an interview momentarily, but for the moment, Bulldogs ended up losing this contest 85-75 despite 27 points from Seth Logan. It was Marcus Warman who helped the Flying Dutchman come away victorious, 19 points, 3 for 5 from 3. And we will go down to the floor. It's Ava Aker.
So, great game today, Coach. I want to know what stood out to you most about your team tonight.
Just that we hung in there and grinded out a tough one. Adrian plays so doggone hard. Coach does a phenomenal job getting his guys to play their switching systems. But I just thought we played harder longer, which is what we needed to do. And we got a good balanced attack, 4 guys in double figures. So really, really pumped about that.
So what was key to your victory tonight against the Bulldogs?
Well, I think getting off to a good start. I thought Orion Yant was amazing inside. That helped us kind of right the ship a little bit. And I thought the run in the second half was key. And then, obviously, the last 4 minutes, just finding a couple of big baskets and getting that 2 to 3 possession lead was critical for us.
And then what does this win mean for your program?
Well, I mean, right now it keeps us at top of the league, which is, we know this second half of the league is going to be an absolute dogfight. We've worked hard to get to this spot. It's going to be really hard to maintain it, but it's a 1 game at a time situation, 40 minutes at a time, and it keeps us right where we want to be right now. So,
perfect. Thank you so much, Coach.
Appreciate
Good
it.
job.
Yep.
Can I have your player, please?
Marcus.
That was Ava Aker with head coach Greg Mitchell. And now we will head back down with Ava Aker in a moment, as she will have star player of the game, Marcus Warman.
Okay, Marcus, so what was something that worked for you all night that made a big impact on the game?
Yeah, like we just played together really well. I mean, we was moving and cutting, and then we was just like all involved and playing like really good on defense. I think that's where it started, because we started off down a little bit, but we just played hard the whole time and we trusted each other.
How does this performance carry on to the rest of your season?
Just trying to keep our lead. You know, we're first in the MIAA, but we still got more games to go, and just making sure we staying focused every day in practice and making sure we're always locked in.
How was this game not an emotional game for you? How did you cancel away from your emotions from the game to on the court?
Just trying to stay poised. I mean, we battled Adrian already at home, and, you know, they played really hard, but knowing that we've been here before in tough games and just trying to stay poised the whole time and calm and professional.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ava, as that was sideline reporter Ava Aker down on the floor with Marcus Warman. 19 points, 6 for 12 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3. He went 4 for 4 from the line with a rebound, 2 assists, and 4 steals. Committed 2 fouls and had 2 turnovers in 31 minutes played. It was a duel between him and Seth Logan. Seth Logan, of course, 27 points, 10 for 16 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3, 3 for 5 from the free throw line, 1 rebound, 1 steal, 1 personal foul, and 2 turnovers. Lutz finished this game playing all 40 minutes. So, Bulldogs end up falling to the Flying Dutchman 85-75, as that will do it for us here from the Marilat Sports and Fitness Center, and from all of us at ACTV. We'd like to thank you for tuning in and remind you to tune in next time.